Oop. Oi! I won't have none of that. On that note, well, good morning to you all, you beautiful lot. Now, I'm at the very top of Ditchford Lane on the footpath that goes to Finedon. All right, someone's hit that sign round, probably the landowner. This is what I like to call my Ironstone walk, and I walk it many times to get into Finedon, because if I go to the Cotch, it's like what, an extra 45 minutes round trip, and then I've got to deal with the hill of Harrowden Lane. So sometimes it's just easier to walk the old track bed that goes from Northampton to Peterborough, and yeah, make my way up Ditchford Lane. So I've got this farm on the corner, and then you've got this wood that goes all the way around, and there is a quarry down there, but it's a bit private, and there's fence all the way around. So with trespassing laws, you're not allowed to climb or pass any no trespassing signs, and you're not allowed to break an entry. So as long as you don't do one of them three, you're allowed to civil trespass, and the police just tell you to move on, and as long as you oblige, nothing can happen. Anyway, this is a footpath, and just on the other side of these trees is the first place I want to send up my drone. So, footpath, and already, you see, we've got rails, and look at those, they're little tramway rails. That's awesome. So, just more evidence of the iron industry that once was part of this land, a big part of this land. And I don't know if you know, but the tramway that came up from Finedon Road Industrial Estate in Wellingborough, Wrexham Works, had a tramway that went up the Finedon Road a little way, then crossed over and went up to Sidegate Lane. I'll see if I can find the pictures of that. But that little tramway used to come up here. And before I show you, I'd like to dedicate this one to Mick Parsons. God bless him, passed away this year. And this is his land, and except from the public footpath, it is private. And I didn't know this when me and Jamie came down at first, because there weren't no trespassing signs. So of course we found this lovely little spot, and we thought, let's go skim some ice. Bring any memories to you? Let's cross this next field, and then I'll show you the beauty. You see this hill as well up there? That's Sidegate Lane, landfill site. And I'll tell you what, before that, this land was flat all the way across. So where they've been taking stuff out of the ground, they've actually raised the ground up. If you ever knew. Anyway, stop yapping. I'm going to head down there. Here we go. Are you ready, folks? You are going to love this. Dum, dum, dum. Oh, pheasants on the bank. But there you go. This is Finedon Top Lodge Quarry. Now, would you look at that? Wow. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? And of course that way, now that way is private land. I don't want to be trespassing down there, but you can see the length of this quarry that went all the way along, and the tramway that came up from Finedon Road Industrial Estate came along here, where you had a ransom rapier digging at the land and filling up the trucks of the train along here to be dragged back down to Wrexham Works down at Finedon Road Industrial Estate. So I'll tell you what I want to do though is I'm going to send a drone up quick. Bloody right, let's have a look.
What you really hear when you hear melody is the interval between one tone and another. The steps, as it were, on the scale. It's the interval. So in the same way, in the intervals between this year's leaves, last year's leaves, this generation of people and that generation, the interval is in some ways just as important, some ways more important, than what it's between.
Yeah, not bad, eh? What a view. Absolutely brilliant. Now, I want to show you as well the footage that me and Jamie Brady done when we came down here, because before there wasn't this sign there, and after our video I think some people came down and were a bit of a nuisance. So the farmer has put the sign up and we're not allowed to go that far. But I can show you the footage. Ta-da! Here we go.
Into the water.
Go on, go on. Yeah! Oh, no, curved it.
That's because it's coming higher up. It's obviously the deeper it goes, the water. You know, like
That's awesome!
Yeah, like a tuba, you know, a big tuba.
Yeah, so, okay, I've showed you that, but please do remember this is private land and the Finedon hunters aren't exactly the nicest of people. Yeah, so if you do come down here, do be aware you'll probably be met with a little bit of force. Anyway, now I'm on to the second part of my Ironstone trail. This is the backfields to Finedon, and it doesn't look like much here, and Lord knows where the footpath actually goes, because, well, yeah, down there, but oh, pheasants. Oh, baby ones. Oh. Oh. Anyway, distractions. And like I said, I'm really not sure which way the footpath goes. It's either that one or that one. Yeah, that leads to it's this side. Now, when walking farmers' fields, if you do get lost, always stick to the edge. Always. That there is basically a factory, right? And this is the farmer's livelihood. So you walking all over this and dogs pooing all over it, you're just destroying someone's livelihood. Whether you don't like their hunting styles or whether you like these farmers or not, that's irrelevant. I mean, look. See? No wonder why these farmers get so angry with everybody. So when you're walking along these fields, walk to the edge. You're not destroying anything. Anyway, enough yapping for a minute. And I need to make my way to Neville's lodge. So bear with me. I'll work my way across these fields and we'll show you the next piece of Ironstone history, and I really think you all need to see this one. Tell you what, we'll follow this little trail. Right, okay, so over there you've got Whitworths of Wellingborough. So just over this hedge line here is another quarry, which is the extended Ironstone journey that I like to do. But that means walking down to Wellingborough pine trees using the old dismantled railway, and then walking up through Ebervale estate. And Ebervale was the main mine entrance for a massive mine underground, and it was the first ever to be electrified. And of course this quarry just on the other side here I have done a video of, and it's the old cement works of Wellingborough. So what I'll do is I'll link that up here. So this is Neville's lodge. And okay, the footpath has just sent me so round the wrong bloody way, but at least there's tyre tracks so I can keep off the farmer's field. Anyway, Neville's Lodge Farm. Okay, it's abandoned now, but if I send up the drone so you can have a look at all these fields around, you will notice something a little bit strange. Now what we've got here is, yeah, you can see the lodge and you can see the Finedon Tower in the background, but if you actually look at all the fields and how they're raised and dipped and raised and dipped, and how some of the fields have been left rough, you may notice that when I bring the LiDAR map up for you all to have a look, and LiDAR is where an airplane goes above and sends down like a sonar and hits the ground and goes back to the airplane and picks up a report, and it shows the amount of mine shafts that are under this land. It is amazing. This is a LiDAR map, and I'll leave the link for this one down in the description below so you can have a look at the land level in here and you can see the dips and all the lines. This mine was massive, all under our feet. Absolutely amazing from up there, isn't it? Yeah, so Neville's Lodge Farm. I have done a video of this one with Jamie Brady showing all the ins and outs and having a look at some proper dips in the land. I'll leave that one at the top. Now, it was done when I was doing the channel as The Koch, so but yeah, it's all part of me growing, wasn't it? So big thank you to Jamie Brady for that one. I'll leave the link up here or there. And this is the sheep wash. Yeah. And of course the farmer would have all of his chemicals or whatever, and he'd push the sheep through here and they'd come out nice and clean. Ready for sheep shearing. Anyway, let's press on. Yeah. Right, okay, let's keep following this footpath before it starts raining, because I'm pretty sure it's going to in a minute. And this is the sunken field. Hang on a minute, are they rails? No, I thought they were rails. But yeah, you can actually see how uneven this ground here is. There's even a picture on Memories of Old Finedon where there was a farmer that came along and got his back wheel stuck in all this. It actually went down into a mine shaft. So under my feet, miles and miles and miles of tunnels that reach from Wellingborough all the way over to Burton Latimer. It's long. I'm nearly through this rough field, but can you actually see how dipped that whole area there is? It's all sunk. And I'm pretty sure there's a strip somewhere which used to be the steps that used to go down into the mines. It was the entrance from up top here. I did just try having a look, but I couldn't find it. Maybe you can see on the drone. But yeah, right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my way into Finedon and get myself a drink and say hello to the wonderful Darren Williams, another legend of Finedon, and then we'll carry on our journey back home, which is part of my Ironstone walk. Ooh.
1 hour later.
That's better. Lovely seeing Darren Williams. Darren Williams, I'll have you know, is Leanne's grandma's fella. So, lovely seeing him. But now it's time I get back on my walks. So I'm at Summerlee Road. And you may remember Summerlee Road from when we met Jo with her well in the bottom of her garden. But Summerlee Road is one of a few roads along here that have been named after a place that Walter Neilson loved the most. At the top of Summerlee Road, you've got Walter Neilson's old house. Oh, tree rat. I'm sorry, buddy. Hello. How you doing? Don't mean to startle you. Hi. I'll go. I'll leave you alone. Yeah, so Walter Neilson was the first person to start open cast quarrying here in Finedon. and he had a tramway that came up from Neilson's Sidings, which is the GBRF rail freight yard down by Finedon Road Industrial Estate in Wellingborough, and all of his materials used to get taken down. So back up the field with the water tower, and if you remember, we came in from this way, right? But there's a little area of land just on the corner that looks a bit sus to me, so I'm going to include it on our Ironstone walk. Right, here we are then. So Finedon water tower is over there, and apparently this used to be a bit of a football pitch, and until it opened up to a mine shaft and people went down, so they had to stop it. But anyway, now we're on this corner, and if you remember me saying about this building estate, they're going to be building on a mine, and let me show you what makes me think that it was building on a mine. Let's see, look, a load of stone there, and I've got to be a bit careful because this is treacherous, but we head down here. Look, you've got a shelf, right? And then you've got this here. It definitely looks a bit sus. So okay, there's the new houses that they've built, and then you've got this bit, see? And the way this is, and it goes under, I mean, Finedon Mine was all under this bit. So there's a slight possibility that this could have been a mine entrance. I mean, look at that. I mean, you don't want that falling on your head, do you? No way. But look, big chunks have just been falling off. It definitely looks a bit sus. Now, I'm not going to go down there because, well, I struggled to get back up last time. So yeah, that's what made me think that these new houses were going to be built on a mine. But you've also got to think, if Walter Neilson's house is just at the top there, then surely he would want a entrance close to his house that would go to the mines. It's my theory. Oh, I do like these little paths though. Give me my hat. Sorry, you don't need to see my hair. Ah, right, let's head down this way. Whew. Awesome. I don't know if you remember this field or not, but this field is the one that's at the back of Milner, and we had a bit of an issue here at the beginning of the year with a very angry farmer dumping a load of stuff on an old man's gate. So just so that you know where I am, this whole field here, under here, is Finedon Mine, which is separate to the other mine up there. I mean, it may have had an entrance at the back that will go through to Wellingborough, Ebervale mines or whatnot, but this one here is the old original one. And you see the firs over in the back? That's another quarry, and that is Walter Neilson's original quarry before they started going for the mines. Let's go check it out. Oh, let's find an allotment with the Wellingborough Road, and this is what the Finedon locals call the firs, or what I like to call Walter Neilson's quarry. Now, I have done a video on this one. I'll leave the link up here for you. Just click the link and it will take you straight to the video, so you can get the understanding of what Walter Neilson was doing around here, because he was the first one to start dragging out all the ironstone out of here. He did have a best friend that also started up the quarry that is Sygate Lane. So what I think I'll do is we'll go down here and we'll have a little walk along, but when I get to the other end, I want to see if I can send a drone up over Sygate Lane Mountain, because I think that is the highest point of all around here. It'd be good to send a drone up, wouldn't it? Anyway, here we go. This is Walter Nielsen's quarry. Do. Yeah. Awesome. And there are CCTV cameras down here, so don't go messing about. Yeah. That one there. And it's all been bulldozed in. There's no way in, no way out. That there is the entrance to Finedon Mine, one of the most dangerous in all the country. No oxygen down there. As soon as you go through the entrance, you're hitting something stupid like 16% oxygen, and that's not good. So you've got a fag on the go and the thing will constantly keep going out on you. But look at that, how is that? Right, let's go walk through. Been a long time since I've been down here. Wow. Bloody awesome. Absolutely love it. And all of this would have been dug out by hand. By hand. Amazing when you think. You can see why people call it the Firs. Definitely. But yeah, apparently all along the sides here as well, there was a couple of entrances. But of course they would have had the beams all robbed out and then collapsed the mine, so you can't actually get down in them no more. Which is a bloody good thing since there's no oxygen in there. That's a big bit of concrete there, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, it's a bath. It's a trough. Oh, look at it though. So just take a moment just to breathe that all in. Look. So I mean, I love this walk, and I walk this quite regularly, and whenever I go up into Finedon, like I say, I always make sure I come all the way around here, and it's awesome. Oh, I love it. So doesn't that look like an entrance? But that'll be bogging below the water table, so let's not. Right, this is where it gets a little bit difficult. But you see this as well, look. See this? The way this is over here. Entrance. Yeah, mate, hang on a bloody minute. What's that? Oh. Look, what's that? I mean, that's just, looks like a window. It is, look at that. Wow. That's another, well, it could be a window, it could be a vent, but it's definitely something to do with the mines. Awesome! See, every time you come, there's always a little something you missed from before. I mean, I always did say that's a bit strange how that looks like it's like a landslide, but not a landslide. And the way this has been dug out here, looks like they've just dug it and chucked it in. Wow, I never knew that one. Isn't that awesome? Anyway, this gets a little bit harder here because I've got to make it up that slope. So I'm pretty sure I don't want any of you laughing at me as I struggle to get up here. So I'll meet you at the top. Wow. absolutely awesome. Love this place so much. It's Finedon. Oh, I love Finedon. I mean, look at that. Oh. I love the way that all the ferns are in there as well. It's awesome. Now we're at the other end. If I remember rightly, there were some rails in here somewhere. Yes, there it is, look, still there. Look at that, ready for the next person to see. There you go, tramway rails. Now it's not big enough to run a steam locomotive on, but it is big enough to have mine carts pushed in and out of the area, where it was then loaded onto bigger trains that are running the meter gauge that can then be hauled straight down to Finedon Road Industrial Estate. If you ever knew. Oh. Here we are. The Wellingborough Road is over there, with Harrowden Lane just in the background. And then Sidegate Lane is just up there. So I'm going to make my way round onto the footpath, and we'll send up the drone for the final time so you can have a look before I end my walk and head down the Wellingborough Road back into Wellingborough.
What was it like to wake up after having never gone to sleep? That was when you were born. Just in the same way as you don't focus your attention on how you make your thyroid gland function, so in the same way you don't have any attention focused on how you shine the sun. So then, let me connect this with the problem of birth and death, which puzzles people enormously at first. Because in order to understand what the self is, you have to remember that it doesn't need to remember anything. Just like you don't need to know how you work your thyroid gland. So then, when you die, you're not going to have to put up with everlasting non-existence, because that's not an experience. A lot of people are afraid that when they die, they're going to be locked up in a dark room forever. Like to wake up after having never gone to sleep. That was when you were born.
What do you reckon? Isn't that awesome? And I love doing that walk. So I usually start it from the Leyland estate and then walk towards Ditchford that way, across the fields, and then head up to the top of Ditchford and then where I started. And then of course you can follow the footpath all the way to Finedon and then come out the back end here to all this beautifulness. I mean, you might even be lucky enough and find something else. But, you know, I'm leaving that one to all you guys to try and find. I've seen it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm going to make myself out onto the Wellingborough Road and then I'm going to walk with all the tarmac. You don't really need to see any of that bit. Oh, look. Tunnel vent. Ooh. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed that. Just as much as I bloody enjoyed filming it. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, big love to you all. I hope you have a beautiful one. If you do this walk, then make sure you got your wellies. It gets a bit treacherous. And just be respectful to the landowners. And if the footpaths aren't decently marked, then just stick to your normal code of decency. Don't go trexing across people's bloody fields. Oop. Oi! I won't have none of that. On that note, I'll see you all later. Peace, love and light. The whole heap of unity!